Hi, my name is Carmen Campbell, and I'm a graduate student at the University of Oslo in the final stages of my PhD work. And I'm also working as a research consultant at Sharp Laboratories of America on a pathogen detection platform. And both my PhD work and the work I'm doing at Sharp Labs is impedance-based biosensors for pathogen detection. And my PhD work directly is what I'm presenting here. It's a platform for monitoring viral-induced cell death that provides a new bioassay for antiviral drug discovery that I hope the immunologists here will embrace. I hope that the technology and the bioassay that I'm developing with my PhD work is well received by the immunologists and can be used as a foundation for next generation antiviral drug discovery and help break through the science in terms of drug development, because one of the limiting factors is high throughput screening of many compounds, and the system provides a foundation for doing that without the use of animal models. So I hope it makes a big impact. My best achievement today is that I was awarded a Fulbright scholarship to go to the University of Oslo, and I worked with a Nobel Prize winner and published a paper on the work. And I also did tech transfer, so I brought the technology from Norway to Oregon State University and applied those experiments there, and that work was published. And it was very exciting because last November I was in Lisbon and a woman actually walked up to me and said, "Are you the Carmen Campbell from the biosensors paper?" And she knew my work, which was published 5 years ago, and she actually wrote a grant around it and hired another woman PhD student to work on that field. So the work I did on that Fulbright opened doors for further research. So I think that was probably my greatest accomplishment to date. I had a couple of aha moments, but it's also one of those things, do I say it on camera? I had a couple of times in my career where I had some challenging, more engineering things that I was working on in the lab and could not figure it out, and I had dreams. And one time I had a dream when I was working at Intel about how to basically float something and spin it, because I wanted to coat all sides of it to prevent an immune reaction, a hypersensitivity, acute hypersensitivity reaction on an implantable device. So if you coat something, usually you have to hold it somewhere so you miss a spot. So in my dream, I saw myself sitting at the bench, assembling this apparatus, putting it all together, and creating a vortex in a tube, and floating my device in there and spinning it and coating it, and not having anywhere be where it's held. It was just floating in 3D. And I actually went to the lab within 24 hours, set it up, it worked. I demonstrated it to the Intel team, and I have a patent on that now. Oh, I love how the immune system basically protects us from, or usually protects us from, all of the things that could go wrong. I mean, we're like that new show that's on, that 1,000 Ways to Die. We're exposed to pathogens and viruses and bacteria and extreme conditions, and somehow we survive. How do we survive? Because we have this amazing immune system that is like an army immobilized against whatever invaders there could be. And I think, and the fact that it is all just going on without a thought, without you thinking about it, it's one of the most fascinating things to me that I can imagine. So I believe that men are very driven and focused on going to the top of their career, and women, I think, try to balance family, relationship, and their professional career. So they're actually doing a more challenging job of walking a tightrope between taking care of their children, taking care of their home, taking care of their husband, and also being a professional in their career. So it's actually, I think, requires a lot more energy and ability to multitask. The biggest challenge that women experience in science, or biggest difficulty that women experience in science that are not experienced by men, I believe is also connected to being a good parent raising children. When a child gets sick and has to stay home from school, 9 times out of 10 it's the mother that's going home and being with their child rather than the father. And I think that's a very difficult balancing act. I think, not to say that there aren't men that will go home from work and stay with their children, but I think the great majority of it falls on the women's shoulders. And I think women have done a very good job of meeting those challenges, especially like the president of AAI, who has these great children and a very supportive spouse. And I think that's what it takes, is having a good partner that will be supportive and encourage you in your professional growth. What could be done to encourage more women to pursue immunology as their career? I believe exposure and education at the very basic level, starting with probably junior high school level, and encouraging those women to follow, actually promoting science in school first of all, in general, and getting kids excited about science, and especially women and minorities who are often at the end of the line behind, all the boys and the women who, if you're not aggressive, if you're passive, it's going to be a lot harder for you to have access to opportunities and information. The advice I would give young women today is to believe in yourself, don't give up, focus on your goal, and know what you want. If you know what you want, it's much easier to get. And if you believe in yourself, you can find the resources to make it happen.